Dan Illman, Mike Beer kicking off the 20-cent late pick 4 at Woodbine on Saturday with graded stakes action. Let's take a look at the field for the Grade 2 Kennedy Road Stakes, 6 furlongs on the Tapeta surface. We got an old favorite in here, multiple Canadian champion, Pink Lloyd, the number 6. Even money on the line. He has won 21 of 26 lifetime starts. He's been the king of this division for a very, very long time. And a win here puts him in the hunt for Horse of the Year up in Canada.
I mean, he's just almost unbeatable in these races. Not only, as you said, 21 for 26 lifetime, he almost never loses at 6 furlongs. Dan, this is his game right here.
16 for 17 at 6 furlongs. It's almost unheard of. He won this race in 2017. He's obviously the horse to beat. Let's see where Timeform US places him on the Timeform US pace projector. They place Pink Lloyd, the number 6, close, and I think they would take that right now. An outside stalking trip. The 2 Extravagant Kid expected to show some speed moving from turf to synth. I would expect the 4 Richie's in the house to be forwardly placed as well. And you know, even Boreal Spirit on occasion shows some speed.
Yeah, that's true. He does. We'll see. You know, he seems like a horse who they're just going to look for a trip with him because he looks like he's in pretty tough. The other 2 horses, in particular to me anyway, the 4, I feel like the 4's going in here.
Yeah.
Extravagant Kid, he's got enough speed to make the lead, but it seems like they've been making a concerted effort with him in his recent races not to put him on the lead. I wonder if they'll ride him that way in here.
I'm a big fan of the number 1 Dixie's Gamble, and when you take Dixie's Gamble away from Pink Lloyd, he is the goods. Allowance winner by 4, optional claiming winner by 6. And he tried Pink Lloyd 3 times and it didn't work out. They got away from Pink Lloyd last time out, and the result was predictable. We turn into the stretch of Dixie's Gamble's last race. Great ride. Luis Contreras just stayed very patient in behind horses on the even money favorite. Shoots on through down towards the inside. Liked the way he finished this race off, but he's back in against Pink Lloyd again.
Yeah, too good for these horses. And then when you get the kind of trip that he got in here, there was just no way they were going to beat him. I agree with you. He looked good winning this race. We'll see if he can step it back up against the real good horses and run as well. Because it feels like if he doesn't run at least that well, and he's probably going to run better than that, he's in trouble here.
Now, we saw him save ground. The trip worked out beautifully. Here's the 2 Extravagant Kids last race. Salty Turf Sprinters, the Grade 2 Woodford. Red Cap, he's down inside. This is example of a trip not working out.
It just didn't work out for him. You can't really blame Jose Ortiz for this. He tried to get the right trip for this horse, and sometimes it just doesn't work out for you. You could see him just blocked all through the stretch, never had a fair chance. Looked like he was loaded in there, Dan. Whether he would have won or not, I don't know, but he would have been a lot closer than he was. He's in very good form. They don't run him on synthetic much, but he handles it just fine. He's a major player in this race.
That was the question I was going to ask you. Do you think he's as effective on synth? Just looking from a buyer speed figure standpoint, he might be better. 104 on a synth?
Yeah, he ran a 104 when Pink Lloyd beat him last April up here. They ran against Pink Lloyd again earlier this year back in May, and he was second best again. When you go back and watch that race, he was really no match for Pink Lloyd that day. He got a perfect trip, Extravagant Kid did. He took it over in the stretch, and he was never holding Pink Lloyd in that race. So, you know, you do have to wonder whether he's just good enough to beat a horse like that. But you know what? It's a different time of year. He's coming in here in really good form. I think there is a real chance he could upset him in this.
That's the point. He's in very, very good form. You just draw a line through that last race. You saw why. Before that, he was 5 starts, 3 wins, 2 seconds, I believe.
He's running some fast races right now, too.
Bob Tiller has, of course, Pink Lloyd. He also will send out the number 3 Reconfigure in the Daily Racing Form Advance on DRF.com. Tiller says he believes Reconfigure a little bit better on the turf, even though this horse is won on synth. We'll go back to the Grade 2 Nearctic, his most recent race. This race on turf, he's going to swing to the outside. Orange silks, white hat. He's got every chance coming down to the wire. He's just going to get beat by City Boy, a 24-1 shot. I thought all in all it was a good effort. This is a lightly raced horse with some upside. Richie's in the house is also in this race. We know Richie's in the house is better on synth. And if Reconfigure is better on turf, I wouldn't be surprised if the tables are turned here.
It does sort of look that way on paper anyway. This is a fine effort for Reconfigure, but you could just tell right there in the stretch, right alongside that long shot winner. He had every chance to win, and he got beat without excuse.
We talked about Pink Lloyd's phenomenal record overall. What about Richie's in the house? He's 13 for 19 lifetime. He's 6 for 6 at 3/4 of a mile, including this race. Kind of a local prep for this, where he beat 3 of these horses, and he actually did it from just off the pace. We usually think of Richie's in the House as just a one-dimensional speedball. He sat off this long shot, no holding back bear, and he's going to hold the closers at bay. I thought Escaminza in the number 2 kind of ran a sneaky good race, sort of blend shuffle down inside, block behind that tiring pace setter.
Yeah, he really did. This is another good performance for Richie's in the House, and his overall record gets even better, Dan, when you take the turf and the dirt races out of there. This is his surface. The 6 furlongs is his game. He's got speed, but he doesn't need the lead. I do think they'll probably put him on the lead here, or at least they should. But if they don't, for some reason, make it, he's fine without it. This is a very dangerous horse in here.
Boreal Spirit's a very nice horse, but he's tried this race a couple of times in the past and it has not worked out. He was 87-1 in this race last year. He didn't run very well, and his most recent race was just kind of disappointing. That was in the Richie's in the House race. He just didn't fire at all. His last 2 have been dull, and it was a shame because it looked like he was getting back into his form. You look at the record, it kind of tells the story, doesn't it? 0 for 18 on synth. He's a turf sprinter.
He is, and even when he's in his really good form, he's really hasn't been good enough to beat horses like this. And now he's got to step up into this race off of 2 very poor performances.
Here's the horse of the hour, the number 6, Pink Lloyd, and he is on a 5-race win streak because this last race doesn't count. He was declared a non-starter in the Bold Venture because of this. They break from the gate. Was Pink? Oh, there he is. He's last. He was, I guess, held in the gate by the assistant starter, and he's just got no chance. Well, here he is. He's in behind horses now in the yellow silks on the 2-path, and this is Pink Lloyd. He refuses to quit. Still has no clearance. Now he's going to get into the 2-path split horses. He's going to come with a really game run. These are some nice horses in Yorkton and a Karen Road in front of him. Pink Lloyd's right there at the wire. He's in form, and if he sits an outside stalking trip here, he's going to be real tough. But I'm not telling you anything you don't already know.
Right, he's just way the horse to beat in here. He's been back in good form this year. He had the excuse last time. I don't know if he was in the hands of the starter. According to the chart, they said he broke through the gate before the start, and that's what compromised him. Either way, I mean, he totally blew the break. And De Silva actually did everything he could to still try to get him to win that race. He actually gave him a very good trip after the disaster at the start, but he just couldn't get there. Listen, he's way the horse to beat in this race.
Does Okratos need more ground? He won the Grade 3 Marine as a 3-year-old going a mile and a 16th. This year they've brought him back very slowly. He's sprinted. We saw him finish 5th behind Richie's in the House last time out. He's the kind of horse that I think needs some pace. I would prefer him if this race was at 7 furlongs.
I like him going a bit longer, too. He clearly has to run the race of his life to beat this field.
The 8, Malibu Secret. Listen, he began his career 1 for 18. Trainer Martin Drexler saw something. He claimed this horse for $40,000, and this horse has been unbeatable. 2 for 2, 89 Beyer speed figures, the best figures of his career in both of those races. This was a very easy win on October the 27th. We're going to watch Malibu Secret win. There were 2 next out winners coming out of this race. Malibu Secret's in the red and the 2-path. Horses that came back to win are in Beyers of 89 and 92. It legitimizes this figure, and this barn's just got him seeing dead red.
Yeah, this barn wins at a very high percentage, and they obviously made a smart claim here. The 2, as you say, the 2 fastest races of his life. He wins this race very easily at the end. He worked pretty hard in the stretch, but once he took it over, he was clear to the wire. Now they're just going to step him way up in class. We'll see how he handles it.
We talked a little bit about Escaminza, who finished 3rd in that Richie's in the House race at 43-1. He was down inside. I thought he was shuffled a bit on the turn, stuck in behind the tiring pace setter, no holding back bear. It was a promising performance for a horse that on occasion, he's never been able to overcome Pink Lloyd, but on occasion he gets a piece at a big price.
Listen, losing to Pink Lloyd, you could say the same about all these horses here, that he's just been unbeatable up there. So this horse, is he going to have trouble with that horse? He is, but you're right, he's run races on occasion that would give him a chance at least to use underneath in here.
Top pick time for the Grade 2 Kennedy Road, kicking off a 20-cent pick 4 at Woodbine on Saturday. You've been following Extravagant Kid ever since that tough trip effort last time out. You're going to get a little bit of a price. Listen, I don't want to try to beat Pink Lloyd in here. I just think he's way the horse to beat. I hate to chalk out, but Extravagant Kid's the interesting sort of trip horse, and we know he handles synthetic.
Yeah, he does. We'll see what kind of prices. I wouldn't go too short on him, but it does feel like Pink Lloyd's going to be a heavy favorite in here. I liked him last time. He didn't really get a fair chance. I'll give him one more chance in here. It's not going to be easy, though.
Would you take 3-1?
Probably not.
All right, 6. 4, 2, and 9 for me. 2, 6, 4, 1 for Mike. Grade 2 Kennedy Road. Let's see if Pink Lloyd can do it again in race number 8 at Woodbine on Saturday with an approximate post of 4:41 Eastern. Best of luck.